800-951-0592. By the way, I just went out real quick just to humor myself. Went out to Atmex, SD, JM. Jason, we're killing them on price here. That's how tough it is. Their cases of Silver Eagles, 20,000 plus to 22,000 plus. We're at 19,875. All of these guys, rolls of Silver Eagles, we're at $800. These guys, that's $40 a coin. If you buy like 1,500 from these guys, they're like 41 and change. If you just buy a roll, Jason, they're $42, $43 right now.
Yeah, I mean, so their prices are going up also. So when
a lot of cases, I saw cases, Jason, for 25,000.
Yep. Yeah. Our price raises is because that's just simply the market moving, and we're moving with it. But some of these other companies, they could go a little lower on the prices, and especially the bigger companies, they could probably do a lot more of a break. But when you got a local company that's in Arizona and Colorado, and you can take advantage of that. I was looking at some stuff on the internet last night, and there's some places in the country still where if you want to go buy gold and silver, you got to get that local coin shop that you want to drive to. There's still people that have to travel 50 to 100 miles just to get to a place where they can buy gold and silver. So you guys don't know how good you've got it when you're in the local Arizona or Colorado areas to come pick this stuff up. If you have to drive 30 miles or 25 miles to get to pick up, you guys are in a fortunate situation, especially to be involved in a good company like Patriot Trading Group. There's a lot of companies that are just not as well-meaning as we are, and Joe, it's just not as easy of a thing. I know the internet wants everything to be convenient and easy. You press a key on the button and your whole world it just becomes rosy and happy. But when it comes to commodities and taking care of your finances, it's not a keystroke on a keyboard. You have to figure it out, find the place you're going to buy and take care of business. And this is why you're listening. If you're listening to this show, there's a reason you're listening, because you're either thinking about it or you're going to continue to stack with us. And you really, I don't know in the 5 years I've been here if there's not a better time to be buying, because it's getting to that point where we've warned you and warned you and warned you and warned you, and now it's getting serious. It really is getting serious, Joe.
Yeah, and again, I think for gold, and it's weird, right? Because usually the pattern is if the Fed's raising rates, that's bad for gold. And if the Fed's lowering rates, that's good for gold. What we saw and what we've seen this year, especially, is it doesn't matter. Raise rates, good for gold, right? Don't raise rates, good for gold. Lower rates, good for gold. Because they've gotten to the point now where raising rates is bad for banks, right? Raising rates is bad for Wall Street. And I think here's the problem. Here's what we're seeing. So all of a sudden, the Fed just said, oh, hey, sorry, our seasonal adjustments were all screwed up. A lot more people were actually being fired than what we were counting. And by a lot more people, like 40, 50,000 a week. They were underestimating, according to the data yesterday. Today's jobs data, the lowest in 27 months. Now, it was still too high, right? Jason, I think it's still too high, right? 236,000. And obviously, again, we're back into what I would call the Obama years. Obama, when the jobs numbers would come out, it was basically everyone was a bartender, a waitress, a food server, a food cook, a house cleaner, right? Those are and again, what they call the leisure and hospitality. Jason, it's dominating the jobs market. It's almost half of all jobs created are in the lowest of the pay scale when it comes to the jobs that are available out there. And it's going to be a situation now where as this economy slows, we talked about it yesterday, small business bankruptcy filings. It wasn't just higher. Oh, no. It was a record. Even big business bankruptcy filings It was the highest total since the financial crisis. And I think, Jason, this is the pattern. We're going to start seeing Wall Street in general start lowering guidance. So I think we're going to have a tough time on Wall Street. I think the Fed is married to raising that rate one more time. I do. And I think I said the last hike was a mistake. It's a colossal mistake. And everybody and their brother that has an IQ higher than room temperature says the Fed is going to cut rates before the year is over. And there's only one reason they're going to cut rates. Only one. Wall Street's collapsing. Otherwise, they don't do it, right? Wall Street's collapsing. The banks are in trouble. They'll start cutting rates. Because really, think about what they keep saying, right? Jason, what do they keep saying? Higher for longer, higher for longer, higher for longer. They're trying to convince themselves that they're not going to do it. But I want to remind people, what else did the Fed say? Oh, inflation's transitory. Inflation's transitory. It's just a supply chain problem. Inflation's transitory. Oh, they tried to say disinflation. That didn't last very long. Disinflation lasted one meeting. But the Fed, and listen, we've got them pegged. We know when they have to say things over and over and over again to try to convince people, Jason, you can almost bank on the opposite is what is true.
What if the markets don't tumble downward, though, Joe? Can they continue to hold rates or keep raising them then? And I always go to the corrupt nature of this thing.
I think they could. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm telling you what everybody out there is saying. Hey, I'm looking. Jeff Gunlatz, he's privy to numbers Jason and I don't see. We don't get to see them. They're looking at things and saying, like commercial real estate. We've told you in the next 2 years, half of the commercial real estate market has to get flipped. And there's a more than high probability that half of that half, the keys are going to get returned. Right? So that's a problem. And at least all of a sudden, and I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but it kind of feels like we kind of shifted down here. I've been telling people for a long time in Phoenix, it doesn't look like a slowdown. Jason, I'm not making this up. Things have slowed down. And you know what people say? People have been saying, because, people want to give it, spring training's over. Because we know we have spring training here, spring training's over. I don't know. I don't think that's it. I really think to Jason's point, I know prices are high, but man, this is a good time to buy because it just looks like both gold and silver are going to rip higher here. 800-951-0592. Jason and I are coming right back. 800-951-0592 on this Good Friday. I know that Jason and Bernice, they've been making all the calls on the last of our metals plans for those October. Man, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Believe me, in another week or two, I'll wish it was October because I think 100-degree heat is on the way. I think it's going to hit 90 today, 97 by Easter. But our metals plans, this is another great way to buy gold. For a lot of people, maybe, like today, we just talked about cases of Silver Eagles. $19,875. Not a lot of people have $19,875 laying around. Even a roll of Silver Eagles, $800. Hey, for a lot of people, that's a lot of money. A $20 Liberty, $2,495. Our metals plan is a great way to buy gold and silver at any budget. The minimum is $100 a month. Okay, so you gotta have at least $100 a month. There is no maximum. I think we got 3 or 4 people that do 5,000 a month. I mean, and we do everything in between. Okay. Here's the great thing. You tell us the day of the month. You put a card on file with us. When you tell us the day of the month you want us to charge the card between the 1st and the 28th, and you tell us the amount. And we'll charge your card 3 times every quarter, once a month, and then every quarter at the end of the 3rd month. We try our best to make big we buy in bulk, right? We're going to get the best price possible. And then we start shipping. It is so big now. When our metals plans first started, we waited till the end of the month before we'd ship. It's too big. It's too much. Brittany now starts shipping like in March as an example. So March was the 3rd month. She started shipping the 2nd week of March and didn't finish shipping until last Friday. But you decide, and whether it's at $100 a month, hey, you got $300 at the end of the quarter. You know, you're going to get maybe a 10th ounce, at least for right now. A roll of dimes or a roll of quarters. If you're at 5,000 a month, well, you got 15 grand. You're going to get gold. You're going to get silver. You're going to get everything in between. And the great part, Jason, is you're always continuing to buy, because that's hard for a lot of people, right? They don't have that discipline to buy at every level. And we've been doing this metals programs now for years. And it's amazing to think about, hey, at one point people were in the metals plan at $1,000 gold, right? Now it's $2,000 gold, right? And it's a great way to do it. Here's the other great thing. There's no fees, none at all. Okay. You can stop at any time. Just call us. Hey, something bad happened. I don't know. I had to get new tires on the car. I can't afford. Just call us and say, hey, I'd like to stop my plan. Okay, great. What would you like us to do with would you like us to ship what you got? What do you want us to do? Some people just stop for a month or 2 and pick back up again. Great. You can change the amount at any time. We don't charge you anything. If you pick up in Colorado or Phoenix, all of your money goes towards product. If we've got to ship it to you, it's the only place, it's the only time. Listen, at $300, we're not going to hit you for $35. We're not. But obviously, hey, it's 15 grand. You got to pay the $35 shipping fee, but we keep it reasonable. I want as much of your money to go to the metals as possible. So Jason, it's a great little plan. If you want to learn more about it, go out to allamericangold.com and just click on the metals button, the metals icon button at the top of the page. And we got all the details there. If you have other questions, just call us here at our 800 number, and the girls can give you all of your answers. The only thing you can't do with the metals program is you can't sign up online. So you do have to call us to get it set up. And Jason, I mean, it's just a great way to do it, especially for those guys that, hey, you know what? Saving $19,000 is not a possibility for me, right? Even $2,500 is out of reach, and it would take me 8 months to get $800. You can get in the metals plan and start getting delivery.
If you're being honest with yourself, and there are people out there that are very undisciplined. If you're one of those people that just, you understand how the world works and you got a very busy life, everyone's got their own situation. But if you're undisciplined, you're not really handy or really good with your money, but you need to start saving. I'm not a guy that likes the automatic bill paying for all my utilities and all my bills. I don't like doing that. I don't like companies having access to my accounts. But if you're one of those guys that, it's easiest for you just to see what's in the account at the end of the month and then you get to spend the rest. Well, then make this one of your bills. Get onto the metals program. It's like a monthly bill for your savings. How many economics experts always will tell you that you need to pay yourself first. Well, the metals program is your way to pay yourself first, right, Joe?
And you know what's so funny is 3, 4 years later, next thing you know, you look in and you got a nice start there. You got a nice collection. So check it. It's just one of the things that we offer. Nobody does it better than us. There's a couple of companies that have tried to copy our plan. They can't do it. They can't get it done. But we're really, really proud to offer that to everybody. 800-951-0592. Jason and I, we're coming right back. 800-951-0592. Joe and Jason. And again, just a reminder, silver's getting really, really tight here. We got a warning yesterday that don't be surprised if Silver Eagles are going to go out of stock as early as next week. And again, remember, we have 3 different suppliers, an East Coast, a Midwest, and a West Coast. And we're down to just one of them right now already. So cases of Silver Eagles, 19,875. Rolls of Silver Eagles at 800. The rolls of silver quarters, 270. The rolls of silver dimes, 135. And I promise you on Monday, they will not be 270 and 135. They won't be. They'll be higher. I'm guessing, but probably be 280 and 140. That's and barring silver going up another $1. So take advantage of that. And I just got an email during the break. I've got 500 more of the British Kings and Queens 10th ounce. They won't tell me which is what. You get what you get. This is the email. Don't ask for Kings. Don't ask for Queens. You get what you get. They're $250. So the American Gold Eagle 10th ounce is $285. We've got a 20 on sale for $2,495. Jason, you can get 10th ounce for $2,500. I mean, you don't get fractional gold, especially 10th ounce, anywhere close to what you can get a 20 for. So, and I know it's not American. I get it. But this is just about bang for the buck here. They've got 500 of those. So on a Good Friday, an opportunity to get some fractional gold for a lot less.
Yeah, if I had to choose, I would rather have the American Gold Eagle 10th ounce. But when the price is that much different, you're talking $350 difference on 10 of them. You might want to get the Kings and Queens. Just flip them over. You don't have to look at the King or the Queen's picture. Just flip it over. Don't just pretend it doesn't exist. And maybe in the future you could trade them back in when the prices are more not as crazy as they are now. But yeah, Joe, I would normally get the Gold Eagles, but I guess at this thing, if I was putting 10,000 in.
It pains me to do it, but you have to, right? At a certain point, you got to be like, okay. And the problem is, even on the 10th, I don't even know how much longer we'll have that. I mean, that's the other side of it, right? Is availability here. So we'll keep digging. We'll keep finding opportunities. And when they present themselves, we'll run. I mean, we ran silver rounds. We may be able to run silver rounds again next week. We'll see. It just depends on supply.
Supply is the issue, isn't it, Joe? In this market, it's about what is available. And then when you get it, what is the price because of the availability? So just, stack it. Just like Joe's been saying all show long, stack it and stack as much as you can because, Joe, I really see at the end of this decade prices being maybe 6x of what we have, 5x of where it's at now. 2030 seems like a century away right now. That's with everything's going to happen.
Feels like, you know what? It does. Yeah. It's over already? Just like that, it does, man. It does feel far away. It just feels like a lot of stuff can happen between now and then. Listen, God bless everybody. Have a good Friday. Happy Easter. Spend time with the family if you can. Put that gold away. Jason and I, we're going to come back with Glenn Tate on the half-empty cup. 800-951-0592.